With the regionals and super regionals in the books, we now know which 8 teams are going to Omaha to compete in the 2022 Men's College World Series, also known as the greatest show on dirt. Johnny Talk Sports here to bring you my College World Series predictions. But before I get to that, I want to take a moment to thank everyone that has tuned in to my college baseball videos so far. I don't talk about college baseball that much or baseball in general, but what I have learned in these last couple of weeks is that college baseball is a sport that is growing tremendously as far as fanship is concerned. And knowing that college baseball is a growing sport, it has made me appreciate the tournament more. And there is no doubt in my mind that I am not only going to appreciate this College World Series more, but I'm going to appreciate college baseball more as a whole, and even baseball as a whole. To everyone that has commented, viewed, even shared one of my videos, your appreciation is everything. You all mean a lot to me, and you are a part of the reason why I am motivated to keep producing more YouTube content. With that being said, let's get to what you're all waiting for, and that is my predictions. And I had a hard time picking a winner for this College World Series. I don't think there's one team that sticks out over the other ones as far as dominance is concerned. I think any of these 8 teams can win this College World Series. I don't think there's a team that is an overwhelming favorite over the others. I don't think seeding means anything, as Stanford, Texas A&M, Texas, and Auburn, they were the only top 16 national seeds to make the College World Series. So I'm going to go game by game here. I'm going to start off with bracket 1, Notre Dame and Texas. Notre Dame made it to Omaha by upsetting the number 1 overall seed in this tournament in Tennessee in the Super Regionals. While Texas, they are no stranger to Omaha. They were here just last year, and they were close to winning it all last year, but lost to the eventual national champion, Mississippi State. Now, I said back in the Super Regional prediction video that I get last year's NC State vibes out of this Notre Dame team. And I mean that. Because NC State did the exact same thing that Notre Dame did to get to Omaha, and that is upset the number 1 national seed in the Super Regional. And I said that I would not be surprised if the Irish, if they went on an NC State-like run in Omaha, if they made it. Now that they're here, I'm going to stick with that. I think Notre Dame is going to beat Texas and move on into the winner's bracket. And that will put Texas in the loser's bracket. Next game in bracket 1, Texas A&M and Oklahoma. Texas A&M, what a year it has been for the Aggies, as they were predicted to finish 13th out of 14 teams in the SEC. The fact they got a top 5 national seed, they took down a TCU team that has been their kryptonite in recent years in the regionals. They beat Louisville in the Super Regionals to make it to Omaha. It's been a magical year for the Aggies under first-year head coach Jim Schlossnagle. And no matter what happens with the Aggies, not only is it quite the accomplishment to make it to Omaha, as all of these 8 teams, it's quite an accomplishment to make it here to Omaha. But for a team that wasn't given a chance in the preseason, that is a major accomplishment. And they are a team that I would not be surprised if they won a College World Series within the next 4 years. I think this is a program that's on the rise. In Oklahoma, they took down Virginia Tech, the number 4 national seed, in the Super Regionals. They took down the 13 national seed in Florida in the regionals. So Oklahoma's not going to be a pushover for Texas A&M or anybody. But I'm going to go with Texas A&M to move on to the winner's bracket. Jim Schlossnagle is no stranger to Omaha, as I believe this is going to be his 6th time in Omaha. And more often than not, he does win at least 1 or 2 games in Omaha. So I think they move on to the winner's bracket, Oklahoma to the loser's bracket, and what a ratings fest that would be. Texas and Oklahoma in an elimination game in Omaha. And I have Texas moving on in that loser's bracket, sending Oklahoma home. Notre Dame and Texas A&M in the winner's bracket for bracket 1, and I have Texas A&M moving on in that winner's bracket, Notre Dame to the loser's bracket, Texas and Notre Dame in the loser's bracket, and I think Texas beats Notre Dame to keep their season alive. As what a showdown. Texas A&M and Texas for a shot at the championship, going to the finals. I have the Texas Longhorns moving on to the College World Series finals. Moving on to bracket 2, Stanford and Arkansas. I have Arkansas moving on in the winner's bracket, Stanford to the loser's bracket. Ole Miss and Auburn. I have Auburn moving on to the winner's bracket, Ole Miss going to the loser's bracket. Loser's bracket, Stanford and Ole Miss. I have Stanford moving on, eliminating Ole Miss. Arkansas and Auburn in the winner's bracket for bracket 2. I have Arkansas moving on, sending Auburn to the loser's bracket to take on Stanford. And I have Auburn beating Stanford, eliminating Stanford. And Arkansas and Auburn for a shot to play for a championship, going to the finals. I have Arkansas. So my College World Series final, I have Texas and I have Arkansas. And winning the 2022 Men's College World Series, I have the Arkansas Razorbacks. The Arkansas Razorbacks, they are a team that has been close a couple of times in recent memory, and I just think this is their year. There's really no stats or analytics that I'm using to support this idea, because I don't care what anybody says. I personally think filling out a College World Series bracket is harder than a March Madness bracket, with the double elimination factor that takes place. But I do think with Arkansas winning the College World Series, I think that will be a feel-good story for the town of Omaha, as the town, I think, will rally for Arkansas, as Dave Van Horn used to be the coach for Nebraska until he decided to take the Arkansas coaching job when it was available to him, as that is his alma mater. And I think the fans would enjoy that. They'd enjoy watching a former Husker coach win a national championship, beating a team that the town of Omaha, the state of Nebraska, absolutely despises in the Texas Longhorns. So comment your prediction down below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a great day and enjoy the College World Series.